Good afternoon, I'm Iuliano with 2NURFM Hunter News. The federal government is under fire after it was revealed it began moves to protect a Hunter Valley woodland the day before Rio Tinto's Mount Thorley Warkworth mine expansion was approved. The Commonwealth called for submissions on a plan to list the Warkworth Sands woodlands as a threatened ecological community only the day before the expansion's fate was decided. Nature Conservation Council CEO Kate Smolsky says the timing of the announcement raises serious questions.
The Commonwealth government quietly announced plans to potentially list it as a critical endangered ecological community under Commonwealth law. And this is about as useful as sending an ambulance to a funeral, because the New South Wales state government has already signed its death warrant.
The New South Wales chief scientist and engineer has found more research is needed into the effect uncovered coal wagons have on air quality and human health in the Hunter. Professor Mary O'Kane's initial report found significant knowledge gaps in the area of coal dust and emissions along the coal supply chain. There is a general understanding dust levels increase when trains pass, but there is dispute around how much dust is emitted and why, with further studies aiming to identify this. The University of Newcastle's Memorandum of Understanding with Urban Growth is being welcomed, but there are calls for the new partnership to ensure transport considerations are well conceived. The MOU is a commitment between the university and urban growth to make education and innovation a standout feature of the Newcastle CBD's renewal. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery says students' access to both Civic and Callaghan campuses must be adequately planned for.
What's going to happen in terms of those students who can't afford to live in the city, and let's face it, many of them don't? How will they be able to get access to town, and will the services that are provided be adequate for them to get to uni in town, both in town and at Callaghan, back and forth?
Maitland Private Hospital has invested $13 million into their rehab unit, doubling the number of beds and introducing a new gym and meeting room. The unit provides care to more than 1,000 people each year and is expected to reduce waiting lists. Maitland Hospital CEO Brett Dennett says the previous unit was not up to snuff.
It got so bad that a lot of referring hospitals just never bothered even contacting us, because the story was that we always had no bed. With Maitland becoming a growth area, it was clear as day that we needed to expand, given that it's used for post-op orthopaedic cases, neurological problems such as strokes, and just general reconditioning.
And history will be made this evening when a 1,300-metre-long grain train enters Newcastle Port after passing assembly points at both Moree and Narrabri. Running longer trains is expected to be cheaper than multiple smaller ones and will bring lower costs to farmers. The train is expected to enter Newcastle Port at 6:30 this evening.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
David Carney. Newcastle Jets midfield David Carney is promising to give 100% in the days leading up to Friday night's fight for fourth with Sydney. It comes as Carney plays down speculation of a New Year move to the Sky Blues for the second time in as many years, as it looks to add to its strike force. Chris Houston is preparing to bid farewell to the Knights after making the switch to the Super League on a 2-year contract with the Widnes Vikings. The back rower was released from the final year of his contract, having not appeared on coach Nathan Brown's 2016 plans. In cricket, Newcastle Grant Stewart is continuing his rise to the top, earning a spot on the New South Wales team in the upcoming Australian Country Championships, and many continue to mourn the loss of late Maitland Pickers legend Merv White, who passed away last night aged 73. That's sport. I'm Gary Lysart.
2NURFM news time is 12:10.